Hey, welcome GothCast. I'm Dr. Sanders, and today I'm going to be taking a look at The Cure's second album, and what many would call their first truly goth album, and a very influential album to goth, and that's 17 Seconds. Now, released inside of 1980, 17 Seconds was a very different album for The Cure at the time. You know, with Three Imaginary Boys, it was definitely more post-punk or even just punk influenced. And so, with 17 Seconds, the band took over. With Three Imaginary Boys, Robert Smith and the band didn't really have a lot of creative control over, you know, what songs got onto the album, what the album art looked like. That was really handled by Chris Perry. And with 17 Seconds, they got full creative control. You know, Robert Smith and the entire band worked on all these songs, and they picked what songs they would do and what songs would go on the album and the album art and everything. And as a result, you have a very dark sound for The Cure for the first time. And it's amazing, in my opinion. In fact, I'll say right off the bat, 17 Seconds is my favorite Cure album. I just really connect with the sound on this album, the sparseness of it, the lyrics of it, and you know, while a lot of people may say it's a very depressing sounding album, I think it's actually something that can make a person who is depressed or sad feel better. You know, maybe they connect with it in some way. At least I know I do. And just overall, it has a lot of songs that I really enjoy. I do want to note that there actually was a band member change. In fact, we actually got one of the classic members of The Cure for the first time on this album. On the first album, you had bassist Michael Dempsey, and then now you have Simon Gallup. And of course, Simon Gallup has been the bassist for The Cure pretty much ever since. There was a little dispute here and there, but you know, for the most part, the entire time Simon Gallup has been The Cure's bassist. And it's just great. You know, they really sound like the band, at least they're starting to form the band that we know today. And while you can compare it even to the albums that would come after, like Faith and Pornography, this can sound a little thin in terms of, you know, it doesn't have this huge sound that The Cure are gonna be known for. I think you can definitely see where it's going. You know, a lot of people think that of the Gothic trilogy, you know, 17 Seconds, Faith, and Pornography, that Pornography is the definitive end-all, be-all. There's no questions as to which is the better album. You know, I get it. It's very close race. But in my opinion, I just really like 17 Seconds. You know, songs like In Your House, even the tiny song, you know, tiny little bit called The Final Sound, which was supposed to be a much longer song. I like that little snippet. You have the cool whispering track of Secrets. And of course you have, you know, one of the most probably the most famous song off this album, and that is A Forest, which would really be The Cure's like first sort of hit that they had. It's kind of funny that that's pretty much the only song that they play regularly from this album. And you know, I can't blame them. I mean, it's a really good song, and you know, they have so many songs, you know. But you know, live they do end up playing a lot of things from Disintegration and Wish, because those are obviously, you know, the bigger albums. But at least they've given some love to 17 Seconds. But really, if you're going back to 17 Seconds, you know, if not to, you know, just listen to it because you love it, you know, I really recommend it for, you know, people who just listen to the Disintegration, Wish sort of era, the really poppy stuff, or even sort of, you know, the Head on the Door. I have to say, give us a try. You know, if you're a really big Cure fan, but you only are stuck in that era of The Cure, I really recommend 17 Seconds, because it does show a band that's kind of scruffy. You kind of feel the rawness of this. In fact, this album was recorded, I think mixed and mastered in like a week, and the band would have to work like 17-hour days. So it was produced on a very, very small budget in a very short amount of time, and you could just feel the heart in it, so to speak. You know, that they were trying their best and they put a lot of themselves into it. And you know, that's what's great. That's why people love The Cure, because they did something different, and they did something that stands the test of time. And you know, while their first album is good, and I may come revisit it one of these days, it's hard to say if, you know, they kept making albums like that if they would have been as well known as they are today. I mean, it's impossible to know, but it is interesting that these albums stand the test of time so much. And you know, while the song or the single like Boys Don't Cry from, you know, before this album came out, and it, you know, people still remember that today. A lot of people don't reference the songs from Three Imaginary Boys as much, but I think that this album has a lot more longevity than Three Imaginary Boys did. And of course, this album would set a precedent for all their future albums and set their career on a different path. And of course, you know, next time we revisit The Cure, we're going to see the second in the Gothic trilogy, as it's called, with Faith. And you can see what I think of that album when I get around to that. But I hope you've enjoyed this video on 17 seconds. And of course, you can like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And of course, stay spooky.